Hello everyone, welcome to Shukracharya podcast. Some of you know who is Shukracharya, some of you don't know Shukracharya. Those who know who is Shukracharya must be thinking, why man? Why the name Shukracharya podcast? And those who don't know, they won't even care about thinking even that. So for both of them, let's start with the beginning. So in Hindu mythology or Hindu history or Hindu text, Hindu Vedas, Upanishads, Hindu Brahmanas, epics, there has been a constant clash between the Devas and the Asuras, or Dev and Asur, if I say in my common dialect. So, both of them had gurus or teachers, but it hasn't always been like that. In the beginning, the Asuras and Devas were completely separate in the sense that the Devas were divine, they were righteous, they were powerful, they were well guided, they were well organized, they were all those things that you know they were meant to be to achieve great success in everything. And the Asuras, they were very powerful as well, but they were not at all coordinated, they were always bickering, they were always divided, they were always provoked at each other. They were not as good as they was, and there wasn't even very much scope for that because of the factor that the whole intelligence, whole system of intelligence that was being provided was due to two of the major gurus, which were Brihaspati and Shukracharya. But while Brihaspati was all righteous and was mostly about guiding or advising, Shukracharya was more in the sphere of power, or in the sphere of beauty, or in the sphere of material dispositions and achievements. So there was something about Asuras that didn't go well with the Shukracharya. Shukracharya always felt that Asuras were not given equal chance, they were not given equal opportunity, they had scope of improvement, they need proper guidance, and they could become more, even in some cases better than devas themselves. So what Shukracharya did was he resisted devas themselves, and for that he was cast out of heaven or Swarg to be the guru of Asuras till time eternal. So what this story tells us is the characteristics of Shukracharya. Shukracharya was very intelligent. He was very siddh, means he had mastery over various forms of art and various forms of strength, or various siddhis, which we call in our Hindu culture, about various forms of powers that could be used by individuals to gain strengths, gain qualities, gain overall dominance over the latter. So, what differentiated Shukracharya from Brihaspati was that Shukracharya even had sympathy for those who didn't deserve it. I see this a lot in today's world. Today, we see that there is sometimes a sympathy for even those who never deserve it. Shukracharya was one guy who had sympathy and who guided the most mischievous and the most destructive beings that would ever be born in the history. In our culture, we believe that, and doesn't matter how much you believe that they will do better with his guidance, with his knowledge, with his supreme intent to do good, it always backfired. It always went on to create monsters and monsters. And sometimes even those monsters despised him. They went on to cast him out. And still, Shukracharya is a being that has been destined to always be on the side of evil, not just to be evil. Shukracharya was never evil. Shukracharya is just a guru who wants better for his shishya. But he always sympathized with the wrong side. And every time he guides an individual, he becomes very, very powerful and he does harm and harm to everyone only, nothing else. And at last, the God or Bhagwan has to come on earth or come down in his avatar or anything like Mahishasur, like Tadakasur, like Hiranyakashyap. To kill him, he had to take Narsimha avatar. So every time he has to do that. But still, that Shukracharya lad never learns. He is destined to guide the Asuras. That's why he's the Guru of Asuras. So I see a lot of him in today's democracies, today's world, where there is a section on society that everyone knew, everyone knows is irredeemable, is not worthy of the guidance, is not worthy of the power, and still ends up getting the power because of some people who love to sympathize with criminal minded people or with the wrong kind of people. But at the same time, it is not just black and white. There is a lot of instances where sympathy and empathy for others end up changing them, and that is where the divide comes in. I believe that there is no more any Brihaspati in this society. There is only Shukracharya and mixes of him everywhere and in everyone. Even in the left wing, which sympathizes with everything and everyone that individual is concerned with, which who create a victim out of anyone, and in the right wing who are so much engulfed in their own values that they don't even want to hear out the other side and consider everything as extreme left. See, I think that everything right now is going on is in some or the other way influenced by Shukracharya. So this is what we are going to do on this podcast. We are going to dive into various issues, various events, various dialogues, various happenings around the world that are some or the other way influenced by Shukracharya, in my belief. So if you want to understand what this school of thinking is and what kind of effect it has on people's mind, then do subscribe and like this video and spread it to your friends. And that is all for today. And I'll be back very often with various kinds of issues and instances that are happening in our society and needs to be thought about. Okay, bye.